What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Hatziger back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. This is now a podcast for Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. Recording this on Monday night, drove back up from Bloomington today. Got to see Michigan State's 77-64 win over the Indiana Hoosiers. Another quality performance from Michigan State in a spot where I had some more skepticism. Sorry, it's tangling with my words right now. Because I mean, they played. Obviously, you get that great win against Purdue. It's on the road. It's at Mackey, and I was wondering how this team would respond mentally to that. You always like. There's always the talk about how do you respond to losses. How do you rise up from losses? But also, how do you maintain that level of intensity after big wins? Because it's easy to kind of slouch your shoulders. You beat Purdue on the road. You look at an NCAA tournament team, a bubble team in Indiana, and kind of think, I think we've got this. And then you don't. You only had 2 days prep. Indiana had four. Purdue had 5 days prep for you. You only had three. So again, you're coming in a rest and prep disadvantage in this game. And both times you're able to get wins. And this one was a sound win. You get off to a quick start. That's not something Michigan State has hardly done on the road, if at all. I'm trying to think back again, like Purdue, they started slow. They were down 7 pretty early on in that game. Like obviously Wisconsin, they started slow and never recovered. Minnesota, they never led in that game. Like Oregon was a slow start. I think the start to Washington was fine. Like Penn State was a game for a while. Rutgers, they trailed pretty much the entire game. You haven't seen Michigan State just jump on a team early and then they basically, I mean, this was the adjective I used to describe the win kind of in the quick recap I wrote that, goes up like 2 minutes after the final buzzer. I just like they boxed them out essentially. They never really built on the lead as I wanted to see them, go from 10-point lead to 15 to 20. It went to 13, but you were hovering around 8, 9, or 10 for a good portion of the second half, but they basically just boxed them out. Like they didn't let them get it. Like they tried. Indiana tried desperately to get back into that game. That was a team that like really left it out there, and Michigan State didn't let them get it. They didn't. And Indiana, MSU had an 8-point lead at halftime. I kind of I think they played better than an 8-point lead. Like you take it, but I thought like they shot the three ball really, really well. I thought they played well. I mean, the defense wasn't great. But I'm thinking like this feels like they should be up by like 15 right now, and they're only up 8. So maybe you kind of think that's like a concern. Like I don't know if they're going to keep that up for another half, and they did. Indiana, I mean, but like Indiana, really the point of the game that I really think back to, I can't remember the exact time of the second half. It was probably about midway through. Indiana hit six straight shots at one point. Like Michigan State's defense could not get a stop. Like this was a real struggle point in the game. The crowd probably rose up multiple times during this whole sequence, and six straight made shots. They barely gained. They maybe gained 2 points of ground across that span. Every time Indiana made a shot, felt like Michigan State had a response on the other end. It was almost humorous because like the view they gave us in the press seating area in Bloomington, if people started standing up, like the people in front of you, they would block your view of the court. Like I couldn't see what was going on once the crowd stood up, and they probably stood up between I didn't count it on my fingers, but probably about 7 or 8 times throughout the game. And I think every time the crowd stood up, obviously usually that happens after a bucket. Michigan State's going down on the other end. I think probably every single time, maybe except for once, Michigan State scored. Like right when the crowd was trying to get them back into it, they feel the momentum shifting in their team's favor. They had a bucket, and several guys stepped up. Curtain, 6 made threes. He's starting to figure it out. He's shooting around 50%. He's shooting around 50% for his last handful of games. He's made multiple threes, 5 of the last 6 games. He's really starting to become a more and more reliable option as a shooter. And that's exactly what you need this time of year. You need someone who can come off the bench and go drill a three when Jordan Scott's out of the game. Jordan Scott got into foul trouble. They needed Curtain to provide some good additional minutes. He had some tough defensive plays. The coaches challenged him because they knew they weren't going to put Jordan Scott back in the game. And Curtain responded, hit some threes to make up for those mistakes, and then some. Some of these were also really, really big threes. He had 4 threes in the first half, 2 in the second half. Both of those threes in the second half, I think, were while the crowd was trying to stand up and get hype. Like one of them was right in response to an Indiana three. I think he actually got one try missed, Kohler had an offensive rebound or two and eventually worked its way back out to Tane for another attempt, and he drilled that one. And another one was where India scored, got a stop, and scored. It's a quick little 4-0 run. Crowd's feeling it. They've cut it from probably from like 9 to 5. Crowd's feeling good. Tane hits a three. It's back to 8. Like clutch threes. He's been clutch this season. Like there's no doubt about it. He hit three pointers against Purdue in the most hostile environment the Big Ten really has to offer. Now that I've been able to experience it, I think I can feel qualified to say that now. It's insane there. Mackey is a true. If you haven't been there, go at some point. It's really cool there. But still, Tane Tane showed up there. The Illinois game, he hit that three with 8 seconds left or something. That gave MSU a lead. Illinois forced overtime, but that was maybe the most clutch shot. I'm trying to think back. I'm trying to think. There might be something that I'm missing that I'm just blanking on right now, but that could be the most clutch shot MSU has had all season. If it's not that, I might be forgetting something right here, but it's up there. You get my point here. But Jordan Scott still he's shooting like 45% from deep during Big Ten play. It doesn't really feel like that, but when you look up the stats, that's what it says. Fears is shooting the ball better lately. Kohler has been struggling with it, but it's there. Like it can happen where if he starts hitting those threes again, he can be a serious weapon. Went 3 for 5 in that Indiana game. Again, at one point he was above 50% for the season. So like you have the shooters in place who can on any given night show up and knock down these shots. And maybe when you're playing a better team, that can make the difference in the game. Again, defensively, I don't know if MSU's defense has been as good as it was in the past. Like sometimes maybe the defense was so good out of necessity, like they really had to buckle down. But the defense has shown up in critical moments. In Purdue, they got 3 straight stops to end the game. It was a 2-point game. You allow a bucket, it's tied. Maybe if they hit a 3, Purdue wins. They got 3 straight stops to end the game. Against Indiana, the offense went cold at the very end. Like they went like 5 minutes without scoring at one point. Maybe a little more than that. Maybe it was closer to 6. But in the final 6 minutes of the game, Indiana scored 4 points. That's closing time right there. Like that's clutch. That's clutch. That's the thing you want to see. You're playing in a hostile environment. You're playing a team that's desperately trying to get at you and try to get a resume win because that's something Indiana really needed. It was their best opportunity that they knew they had left, and you don't let them do it when the other team is also playing. Purdue, I think MSU probably needed that game more than Purdue does. I mean, that probably changes now since Purdue has since lost to Ohio State on the road, but I think MSU gained more than Purdue lost in that game. But like Indiana had a lot more to gain than MSU had to lose in that game. Indiana was the team you would expect to play with more desperation. I think you saw that, but it didn't matter. And that's what you like to see when you're the team that's not desperate. So again, another really good win. Michigan State's up to 8 in the AP poll as I record this. That's the second highest they've been ranked all season. They were ranked 7th around mid to late January. I think that was right before they had those. I think it was right before like the Rutgers and then the back-to-back losses. But again, this team's playing about the best basketball that I've seen from them all season, and they're playing it at the right time. They're a win away from against Rutgers, a team you should probably win that game more than 95% of the time at home, senior night. Really, you're kind of hoping that they just, if you're one of the seniors, you're hoping that it's lopsided enough that you can get like Nick Sanders into the game so he can go kiss the Spartaness before the final buzzer sounds. You can get all the seniors on and off the court and such. Again, Kohler and Cooper will be probably one of the more emotional ones. Again, 4-year guys. It's always a bit special to see that as well. But again, people, I mean, it feels like we've seen this movie before. The team has a dip in late January, early February. People are sounding the alarm. I mean, I tried not to, I try to stay level headed here. That's kind of my job. But you kind of think like, like Fears had to do like everything for a couple of games for them to have a shot. That's not the case anymore. Fears played great though against Indiana, 21-9. But again, it doesn't feel like he has to do that for Michigan State to win a game. It doesn't feel like it's not all on his shoulders. And that was something Michigan State had to adjust to become what they are now. Like they could be a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament if the season ended right now. And again, that's huge because I'd also really like to avoid them getting the West region because that would mean San Jose, and that's a really long flight, and San Jose is not this big giant city. Whatever, I'll deal with whatever they give me for that. But still, higher seed is better, obviously. Two, you would love to be a 2 seed. It's preferable to being a 3 seed. It's preferable to being the 4 seed, of course. So yeah, that kind of sums up my thoughts on Indiana. There'll be plenty more coverage coming your way on Michigan State basketball of whatever's going on at the moment. You can get it right here at SpartanNation.com or at Michigan State Spartans on the side. You can get all of our podcasting content here, right here, wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah, once again though, I'm Jim Katsunika. I'll see you guys around.